Hi guys, welcome back to Xperience and welcome to my new format, not new format, just a different format from my previous video. In this video, we will need a piece of paper, a hairdryer, and the paper itself, it needs to have a textured but polished finish, and of course, phone. And yes, my friends, we will talk about the reusability of handphone skins. First of all, I'm using a dbrand skin. I've been using it for about 2 years and it has been perfect. But I have dropped my phone several times. In this top corner, it has the most noticeable damage, but it's not really that noticeable. But nonetheless, I would like to remove the skin because I'm also quite bored with the look of my phone. And how to remove it? First, as you can see, I've been applying a lot of heat on one edge of the phone. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to peel off the skin in one corner, because when you can peel the skin in one corner, as I have done in this corner, you can see that it will be a lot easier to remove the skin. But of course, I still need to apply a lot of heat. I'm applying the heat all over the edges and I'm trying to peel off the skin from this edge first. And it is easier, way easier, when you have already applied the heat. But you won't have enough heat. You will always need to reheat the surface, peel it off, and then reheat it again, and then peel it off again. As you can see, it still needs a lot of effort. And you will want to have the heat. Why? Because we're talking about the reusability. If you're not using heat to remove the adhesive, and of course, heat is the best way to counter the adhesive. If you do not use enough heat, you can stretch the skin, which is not good if you're trying to reuse the skin. And as you can see, I'm trying to peel it off from the other edge. And when you have enough surface peeled from both edges, you can more easily, not easy enough, but you can more easily remove the whole skin from the phone. And remember, we are trying to reuse the skin. I'm not trying to stretch it too much, and I have to adjust the handling of the phone. And voila, the skin is removed. But then, what should we do with the skin? That is where the piece of paper comes in. When you order a skin, it usually comes in on top of this paper, which is textured, but it is very slick, which means that you can reapply the skin in this piece of paper, but still, as you can see, it still needs a lot of effort just to put it on the paper. That's why it still needs the hairdryer. So you can reheat the surface of the skin, and then you can see that it can attach rather easily compared to when you do not use the heat. And you can see there are some edges that have curves on the skin, and you can see just how hard it is when you have these curves on the skin. Now you can see that this is the side effect of using heat, because the back panel of phones usually also attached by adhesive, and you can see in that corner the adhesive has considerably weakened, and I don't think that this phone is IP68 anymore. But hey, you do what you gotta do, which is make content in my defense. Okay, and then the next thing, we have to skip for 1 week, and then we are trying to reapply the skin. Now, I'm not trying to be too technical with the process of applying skin, because dbrand has a tutorial video in YouTube just how to apply skin for different kinds of phones and different kind of skins, and I'm not really using their instructed method because I'm using the camera bump as my alignment point, because if it's aligned already on the camera, it is more likely to be aligned on the other surface of the phone. And to say it hard is an understatement. If you're not used to applying skin, it will take you multiple tries, and you don't have to worry, because dbrand is a really good skin. You can just take it back and then reapply it, and the adhesive is still perfectly fine. It's still good adhesive, and you can see here, just like when we apply it to the paper, we need a lot of heat just to put it back perfectly on the phone. I have perfectly aligned all the phone, and I'm trying to heat the edges, and this is where the nightmare happens. Because I'm using Galaxy S10 Plus, which the phone is famous for having the curves on the back and on the front, it is really difficult to reattach the curved part. Why? Because the curved part is not attached perfectly on the paper. So there are a lot of dust and other debris, not debris, but there are a lot of material inside that part of adhesive, which means that it just cannot attach perfectly like before. And I'm trying really hard to do it, but more heat just means that the adhesive is loosened. And as you can see, you can see that I've shown you how the skin flops on the edges with the curve, and I'm trying to reheat again, apply it again, reheat again, apply it again, and it still doesn't show much of an improvement. Which doesn't mean that the skin cannot be reapplied. It just means that there are several kind of phones that is not playing nicely with used skin, which is unfortunately my phone. If you have a perfectly flat phone on the back, like maybe an iPhone, I don't think this will be an issue, because the surface is flat enough so you don't have to think about the curves. As you can see here how badly the curves are. Now, in my defense, this is my first time trying to remove the skin and reattach it, and also I've been leaving it for a week because we're talking about reusability. Why would I just remove it and then reapply it again on the same day? But as you can see, the result is unsatisfactory. Now, this is what I mean by the curves. You can see that there are a lot of gaps you can see when the skin is applied on the paper. And this gaps is the reason why the adhesive is not as strong as before. Now, in conclusion, it doesn't mean that the skin cannot be reused. It can be reused if the phone doesn't have much curve. That is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Like and dislike as you like it, and I'll see you on the next video.